So I started the recording.
Okay.
So I'm sharing my screen with you.
Okay.
So you guys have enough time to read like first two chapters, right? Now you have enough time. So have you read it?
Chapter 1, sir.
Huh?
Chapter 1.
Chapter 1 done? Very good. It's a it's a good progress actually. And how you like how you understand this particular language about this book? It's okay, cool, है ना? Plain
Yeah.
है. Plain
Not
English.
too difficult.
Yeah. This guy is really very good in writing because he he's also a UX designer, right? So he's writing and choosing the exact word which user can easily understand without googling, right? So that's why I recommend this book on high priority, right? So whenever any UX designer join our company, right, as well, so I gave them this particular book and gave the target that okay, you have to finish this book in 1 month. So in 1 month, they have 4 weekends, so they have to complete it, and they will come to me with a proper a presentation, right? They will give me a presentation like this is what they understood. So because if you will not read this particular word, you will not understand those actually the words UI UX words which I use actually, right? Whenever I talk with my clients, whenever I talk with my team. So let's suppose if I say I need a brand guideline document, right? I need a style guide. So if you didn't read this particular book, you cannot understand what I'm talking about, right? So nomenclature is very important in any field, right? So doctors have their own nomenclature, right? So similar like UI designer, they have their own nomenclature, right? There is a language in between when designers work with even developers, clients, stakeholders, right? So this is very important. Keep reading, guys. So today we will talk about the brand identity. So in this book, he didn't talk a lot of about it, right? And in I think chapter in fifth plane or point where we are talking about the visual designs, he just talk about little bit about the UI, colors and styling, right? But my understanding is even it's not a job of a UI designer. People say, right? But if you would like to be a 360 UI UX designer, you should understand the brand engagement first of all, brand language, right? And try to create your own brand language. Like if you are designing an app, right, of your client, then you have to create the logo for your client as well, right? So it means you are creating a brand identity for them, right? And in the brand identity, there are a lot of other elements involved, like typography, right, colors, color palettes. Then we have other brand designer. Sorry.
Pantone.
Yeah, the color palettes are different color palettes. Pantone used for the printing, right? So, so visiting card, letterhead, stationery, glow sign boards. These all are the integrated part of the brand guideline or the branding. People recognize from that. And in that particular domain, website is an essential element for that particular brand appearance, right? People see the logo either in television ad or paper ad. After that, what they do? They Google it. They land on your website. So they want the same branding experience what they saw on the television ad or print ad. Simple. So to keep the same seamless experience from one channel to different another channel, we have to create a brand guideline document. Similar way, which I talked in my first class, we talk about the design system, right? We talk about the design system. In the design system, what we talked about that okay, in the design system, what we do, we define the whole application design components, buttons, drop down, etc. Right? And those buttons, drop downs will be the seamlessly used in the whole application. Doesn't matter that application have 1 page, 10 page or thousands pages, right? So that is for the seamless experience of the application. So brand guideline is an that is for the brand experience actually, right? So when the user came from one channel to another channel I'm talking about TV, print, social media, those are the different channels. So in each channel should have the same brand experience. Logo should be same, color should be same, typography should be same, right? And to elevate the whole brand experience, we introduce some brand design element. I will explain you this particular thing in detail today, because once you will not understand this, you cannot create a proper strategy of your application, right? So let me give you one example, right? So this is our website think360studio.com. So do you guys would like to see the brand guideline of this particular application?
Yes.
Let me show you. So this is the guideline of our company. Think 360, defining your UX journey is our slogan, right? We never written okay UI designers, not that. We define the exact slogan of, because slogan is very important. It should not just like abstract, right? It should not just like vague. It should be meaningful, so that user will strike on your brand, right? And they would like to go for the either buy the service, buy the product or subscribe that particular product. So let's the similar way, Airtel have their own slogan that express yourself, right? So Airtel is a communication company. From there with Airtel what we do, we buy the SIM and we start talking, right? So talking communication is a way of express yourself, right? Because without communication we cannot express ourselves. Either communication through vocal or the sign language, both are same, right? So this is our brand guideline documents, where what we define the brand mark on the left side, the logo, what we say the brand mark, right? And the company logo name, and then we have the slogan. So these are the three main components which create the whole brand identity. So like the logo, you can say that, right? So along with this you can understand that okay, you cannot recognize this particular thing, right? And logo should have their meaning, right? So that you can justify this whole thing 360. I will explain you what is the meaning of this particular logo, right? So again, so either you can use this type of thing, right? Or brand mark on top, and then we have. So you have the similar example behind you guys, right? And on our board outside of the company we have this type of sample, okay? Outer side this is the same, right? So this is the balance, okay? With the slogan we will go with this, and without slogan. On our website we are just putting without slogan, right? Then if you go down, then this, why this is showing, because why these spaces meaning is another element, let's suppose on the right side will start with this particular space, not just like start just with along with the zero. No, we have to keep this particular space from all like from all sides, left, right, bottom, right, or bottom, top. So these are our colors. So this is red primary color, then we have the graphite primary color, and then we have these are the like tertiary color where we use for the CTAs, or where we want any user attention on that particular topic, right? Then this is our, we are using two font families. One is the Rubik, this is the major one, and another the Kaluna. So in 2020 we added one more typography regarding this. So this is called Kaluna because in 2020 we completed over 10 years, right? So we slightly did some changes in our brand identity, but not much, right? We just added one more type of like the one more font, which is showing that we are a older company. So this font always show or give the glimpse that okay, we are professional, elite, and we are very premium company, right? And we have the proper expertise. We have numbers of years of experience, right? So that's why I introduced this particular font, Kaluna. Next, this is how we can show H1, H2 tags. If we go with the physical branding or the carry bags, it should be look like this. I just increases this particular elements, right, as a pattern. Business card, this is our business card. Then we have the coffee and mugs. This is our letterhead. This is our iCard. And these are our patterns where we can use it, whenever we need. On the right side, on the top side, right? And this is our t-shirt design. Even we never printed, but when we will go for the print, we will use this particular pattern. These are our buttons, iconography, and that's it. So this is one example of the brand identity, right? And let me show you another example, which I really like it personally. That is called Already, right? So this is a beauty marketplace available in Tri-City, and what they do, they patch up with brides and the makeup artists. So they are a kind of a mediator in between bride and makeup artist. So bride give the query that okay, my wedding on this particular day. So they share that information in their makeup artist network, and they directly talk to them, fix a price, and then deal close, right? So this is that type of product. So the product name is Already, and already word already have the like the spell mistake, right? But client want with this particular word. So I said okay. So we introduced this new brand. So let me show. I think their brand is not updated yet. So let me show the previous one. So this is the older one. You see, there is a heart and in infinitive word. What is the meaning of that? They are saying that okay, our relation is infinitive, right? But they are not a marriage bureau, right? They are mediator in between bride and makeup artist, which will elevate their marriage experience, right? If the bride look beautiful, definitely the marriage experience will good, right? So when I saw this particular logo, and I travel to their places as well to discuss okay how they are dealing with their clients and all. After 2-3 discussion, I said you are going in the wrong direction, right? Why? Because you are just a mediator. First of all, you are not a marriage bureau. You are not choosing a groom for a bride. You are just giving 10 options of the makeup artist, the best 10 options, and you are not pushing to your to any bride to select one. You know, it's her decision, right? You are just a mediator. So I explained that this is the wrong strategy. We have to redesign the whole brand experience, right? So when we started this whole journey, so how we started. So this is the overview I written in a detail. You can read guide. I will share this link with you. So this is
when you made the MVP for this document.
No. This for the brand guideline document, we never start with the MVP.
Okay.
because why? Because there is no such requirement frozen regarding, there is no functionality actually, there is a visual functionality, right? We have to give a brand, a visual language actually when we talk about the branding, right? So rather than writing you cannot write a logo specification,
Yes,
right?
sir. Once you have done your brand identity, you shared with the customers, your clients. They agreed upon that.
Mhm.
And afterwards, when you decide on how we will proceed or how we will design
No,
a
no, no,
website,
no. I don't do like that. So right now the scenario is we are into a brand making phase, right? Where they have their own existing brand, right? But that is not uh, expressing their brand identity into the market, right? At a glance, it look like this is a marriage bureau, right? There is a ring and heart, marriage bureau, simple. So, and I'm very much straightforward person. I simply say that Kaniga, my client name is Kaniga, this is a wrong approach, right? We have to change our approach, and I will let you know that okay how we can do it, right? I told the problems, and then she said, "What is the solution?" So let me do my research, right? I done my research in the form of mood boards, right? So these are the mood boards actually. I research various kind of other marketplaces, right? Other like you can say uh, these brand like Vogue, or you can say feminine brands, right? And I created these three mood boards, and I also told that this is the best mood board for your brand. I told them, right, that this is the best one, which we have to further extend it. I explained, I almost invested 4 hours to discuss these particular mood boards with my client. After that, we decide, okay, we will go with this approach, and this is what we design. Every makeup artist using this LED, right? And why this? Because we are talking about event, not just the marriage, right?
is it a glass?
It's a glass. It's a glass of celebration, right? So what I did, I take O as a ring, right, with the base, and Y as a glass,
Okay.
and this is a one of the pure typographical logo. Typography have a lot of power to express the whole brand with adding few elements like I done, right? Simple logo, attractive logo. Then this is the slogan which I suggested.
The smart beauty club. Okay.
Your smart beauty club, right? You join this, right? And be the part of this club and get the benefit out of it. Again, simple. And why your? Because it's more personalized. So branding has a lot of potential, lot of power. Without proper branding, you cannot launch your brand in the market. It will be failed on the launch pad. I must tell you. If you are copying the existing brand, you will get notification from the courts as well, right? So this is very serious matter. In my company, none of the designer making these kind of decisions. I am the only guy who is taking these kind of, because these are very important decisions. If my designer did, even they don't do that, but let's suppose if a designer simply copy this particular thing, and my client already created their stationery, lakhs of rupees stationery, hoardings, everything, and when they launched the brand, when they did the marketing on Facebook, Instagram, somebody said this is a copy of that particular brand. Do you think this makes sense? This is a breach of trust in between your client and you. Take time, take good, give them a higher proposal that okay, we are the expensive one, but expensive one if doing this the same mistake which is the cheaper one doing, that does not make sense. You have to create see, branding is not just like this, okay, you created this thing. I told you in first chapter that branding is start when you start using the product. So let's suppose client came to me and said that okay, they have this particular brand, they would like to redesign it, right? I said okay, this is my proposal, right? They accepted, they gave me the upfront, I started the work, okay? And after that, if I'm breaching my client trust through the copying someone logo, and I know world is too small nowadays, and I got caught up, right? I should not do that particular mistake. So this is not only apply in the logo design, it also apply in the UI design, guys. If you are copying someone else UI, it will be caught one day. Okay. So next I define the color palette, then typography, and these are the iconography and the simple design system, right? How the button look like, how the input box, how the tabs look like, and how not to use the logo. Then we have, this is the core part of the branding. Brand should look balanced, effortless, essential, accessible, modern, sustainable, engaged, community, and minimalistic. So this is the like brand voice. Then I explain. This is the pattern I taken from the logo. Because my logo based on the circles, so I also created this type of patterns. Okay.
This
And-
pattern was used as a background for anything?
Yes.
Okay.
And these patterns we can, like, these are the like stories. If they would like to design it or push their on their Instagram, so they have to use this kind of stories. They can, I propose them, their story design should look like this. Facebook post, Instagram post, t-shirt design, and they did it, they make it happen in the for their employees actually. On product, whenever they will launch in whole India, maybe they launch the products, perfumes, creams, because they can easily target the cosmetic industry because they have the makeup artist, right? So that brand vision we give. I'm using the pattern in the cup design over here.
Sir, as you mentioned, you have done that OL to OL already. Okay, you have said that I was inspired from the ring, and that's why I have marked a red dot over here, and from the wine inspiration you got here.
Hmm.
You think people will connect to it? Like you have explained us that what's the reason for it,
Mhm.
so we know. But once we have don't know what's the purposes dots are used. So can we connect to that logo? That's why.
See, sometimes we don't need to explain. First of all, are they reading the already as it is? The important thing in their brand is people are reading ALREADY.
Yes.
So I break that in
There
way.
they will connect.
That they will connect with O, right? And because their primary customer is makeup artist, from there they are getting the payments, not from the bride, right? So for bride this product is totally free, but they are getting the money from makeup artists because they need the business and they are giving the leads, right? So every makeup artist using this particular ring,
Okay.
right? And for bride, because it's a part of the celebration functions or events, right? So that why is can easily understandable with that particular graphic. So this is the stamp we design. Then we design how the interior should be of the already office, right? Letterhead. Okay. Then we have standees, newspaper ads, mobile apps, website, mobile app icons. How should look like the email signatures, right? So this is the This is called brand guideline document. Very much elaborate. We did this in almost 2 months, and I gave almost 15 options of this particular logo, and they selected the something else. When I explained this logo, they said this will be connect. And I must tell you, let me show you their Instagram reach. So see how many followers they have, 24K. And they are using this particular, and they did the survey that how our logo look like, and people give a lot of thumbs up. They give a lot of comments on this. Maybe at below there is a post when they launch this new logo on Instagram first, that this is what we're gonna do. I show you the post. They are very creative. They have very good team of content writers, content creators. So they are really doing very well. They are very much active on this show. I have to do a lot of scroll actually. So see, and you know that will see how they are using this logo. They put a post, and on the left side, just the logo. Very simple, clean approach. They know how to use their logo on social media, you know. Because they also give like some type of tips, like how to take care of your skin, right, or of your hairs. I think it's very much far away. So anyway, I will, whenever I will find, I will share with you, okay? Because it's too much, very far, I think. So anyway, so let's talk about again, come back to the book. So you got the point of the brand guideline document or the brand identity. So misconception. So this particular case study, why I introduced, I would like to clear the misconception in between the brand identity and the branding and the logo. Just people think that okay, logo is a brand. No, it's not like that. That is the first step of your branding actually. And if your logo is not correct, I must tell you that you are wasting lot of money in printing, social media, because people don't like your logo. And there are a lot of case studies on internet available. If you will type the bad example of the logos, you will get a lot of options. Okay, these are the biggest brands which only failed just because of their logos. And after that,
Say for example, which we can
you Google yourself, right? So, and he also explained that when we get to the surface plane, we will revisit this particular brand identity in detail. So I will come again regarding this particular thing, because in that time you also have one case study, right? One case study everyone have, right? You will also have your own case study, you will also have your own case study, and she will also have her case study, right? So in that case study, once your wireframe is finalized, right, after the user research, then this step is very important, like how you will gonna build the whole branding. Like in my last chapter, I shown you my previous student Myra board, right?
yes.
So in that Myra board, what she did, and let me introduce once again. Mini are you? So this journey you have to live, guys. She's coming on this Friday to show me her complete case study, right? So what I will do on Friday, we will take class with her, right? And I will show you that, okay, what type of case study she done and what type of feedback I am giving, so that you will know that you will also face that particular phase, right? One day, because you are not continually joining this particular classes, right? You are taking a lot of breaks, guys, and I'm not happy with that, right? But I must tell you that, okay, if you will do this, take the classes on daily basis, na, we will wrap up the whole course, and each of the element task, or each and every surface plane, or each and every plane on time, right? So that you will, after 3 months, you will have ready your own case study, right? So in this is the project brief. Then she started her research with user surveys and all. She put everything, competitor analysis, then the persona, then the different let me zoom in a little bit. Then we have empathy, mapping, and a wireframe. Sorry, not wireframe, the user flow. And then she started with this mood board, right? This is the color, this will be the typography, and then she completed the whole brand guideline document. Very little one, which is important for her case study. And this is the logo she finalized from her, right? From her side, and she explained the logo concept. And she is coming on this Friday. Our class should be conducted with her, right? And in that particular class, I will only give the feedback regarding the case study. Okay, so that you will aware that, okay, what type of case study and what type of standards she maintained, right? It's a good practice for you guys. Okay, so let's come back again. So I think branding formula is almost clear with you guys, right? So now they are talking about in the next step, that is called success matrix, right? This we will discuss tomorrow, because success matrix have lots of parameters. Like, I will give you like intro, then we will jump into the another website, growth design. We will talk about another hypothesis about the UX, right? But in nutshell, success matrix is, let's suppose your website or application goal is just you only want the installs, either on Play Store or App Store, right? So you launch your application today, and in 1 week, how many installs you are getting, that is your success parameter, or you can say success matrix. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
And let's suppose you're saying, okay, after 6 months, when I got 10 million download, now let's talk about the revenue, right? Because none of the app, there are a lot of app which is available for free, of course, right? And they are solving the user daily problems. But there are like 80% app which have the money constraint, right? Like they are charging them, right? So let's suppose you said, okay, after 10 million users, when the 10 millions will be download, I will start working on the monetization, right? Monetization means, it means like how you are charging to the customer about your app services, right? Like Netflix, like Amazon Prime. They are paid from day one. They are not showing even a single episode for free, because their approach is that kind of approach, right? But there are some other applications like G5 and Hotstar. They are not showing the premium content, or Sony app. They are showing some the content with ads. Have you experienced this thing?
Yes.
Right? So they are generating the revenue from ads, like YouTube, right? So success matrix is like, one is the download. Let's suppose there is a shopping cart, right? So the second type of thing is, okay, how much revenue we are getting on the weekly basis or the monthly basis or the quarterly basis. So that is also a success matrix. So there, the whole paragraph, I will explain you this by tomorrow, elaboratively or in detail, like how we have to define the success matrix, right? Like the on the Mira board, that particular app is regarding, let's suppose you hire a virtual gym trainer, right? And they give you the package of 30 days. Okay, for 30 days you have to do, you have to complete these exercise on daily basis, right? And every day pattern will change, right? Because this is how the gym industry works, right? So once that has been defined, so the in that particular thing there are 2-3 type of success metrics. One, user get the particular package, either 30 days, 60 days or 90 days, and once they get the package they will start using that app, right? They should open the app on daily basis. Notification should trigger on that particular application on daily basis, like okay, it's time for exercise, right? And users and application send the reminders so that user will come back. So those are the features which will generate the success metrics or improve the success metrics. So in UX we also use one another word that is called user retention. Like why user will come back on your application on daily basis and again, right? That is very important. So to cater that particular thing, you have to define the user retention points during your research, or the first step, or the first plane, which we are talking about, right? So this I will explain in detail. So today, on this book, only this one which we will talk. So another thing we will talk. Have you visited this website in these days, right? Okay, so let's talk about some psychology, other psychologies. So confirmation bias, people look for evidence that confirms what they think. So means people tend to search for, interpret, prefer, recall information in a way that reinforces their personal belief or hypothesis. So means the example is, I have heard the rhetoric from both sides, time to do my own research on the real truth. So now they type this particular thing, then literally the first link that
ਇੱਕ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਫਰੇਮਵਰਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਥਿੰਗ ਰਜਿਸਟਰੀ ਫਰੇਮਵਰਕ
हाँ स्टूडियोज
स्टूडियो
सी
स्टूडियो नहीं है
स्टूडियो की फ्रेमवर्क की होगी
ਤੇ ਹਬਰਬਰਾਕ
हाँ जी
ਹੋਰ
और पायस एस्ट्रो
ਉਹਦਾ ਨੂੰ ਲਿੰਕ ਦਊਂਗਾ ਮੈਂ
हाँ मैं देना दिखला रहा हूँ
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੈਂਗਆਊਟ ਤੇ ਕਰ ਦੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਮੈਂ
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਖੁੱਲਿਆ ਹੋਣਾ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਾਪੀ ਪੇਸਟ ਭੇਜ ਦੂੰ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਫਰੈਂਸ ਦੇ
हाँ कोई बात नहीं
ਮੈਂ WhatsApp ਤੇ ਭੇਜ
और प्रिंसिपल होते हैं
ਉਹ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ
जी ओके just give me one website link है ना so okay, so what does that mean is कि people tend to search or interpret, prefer, recall information in a way that reinforces their personal belief or a hypothesis. Like what people would like to search, he want that result on top of that. And if you are showing bullshit around that, he will never come back on your website because he think that this is not cup of my tea. This is something else. So you have to plan or you have to thrive the information in front of a user smartly, right? If you would like to show or show the ad, I must tell you one of the bad experience I am experiencing in the Outlook. See, in the Outlook, whenever I open on daily basis, I first click on this on daily basis. It's only show very little ad, but I thought some new, and it also show me in the bold. So it's similar like this particular email is showing me, right? I thought something came new, in my inbox, and I click every time, and this is what I call bad experience. Bad experience. I don't want to click on it. So if I'm not interested in this, so they just are showing the clicks, that how many users are clicking from their outlook.com. That is bullshit. So never go with this particular experience, guys. That is good for the marketing purpose, but not for the proper, you can say, user experience, right? So they have to introduce on some other way, like on the right side. If I am interested, I will click on it. But I'm not interested. They put everything in my inbox. Bad experience. And here I cannot even read the whole thing. So the experience was same. Let's suppose I click over here on the right side, I'm getting the whole information about that email. When I click by mistake on this, it will trigger me to on the new page. So what is the purpose of it? Bad experience. This big company doing this particular thing, you can see that how many big companies doing what type of mistakes related to user experience, related to user behavior, right? So anyway, so this is what that means. That if user would like to search the particular topic, we have to show them first. After that, whatever the market material you would like to show. Otherwise, user will drop very easily. And Google playing in this particular arena role in concern of UI UX very smartly, right? So in times of crisis, hard to look. So this is actually they also attach some case studies over there. So let me show you this case study how it works, right? So coronavirus UX, how dashboard design can impact. Unlock this custody. ये okay है. Okay, let me log in. This is the one of the great experience. You see, there they shown that okay, open Gmail. So I click over here. Wow, one of the best experience, and they put everything team at the so that this Gmail will search the same email in front of me, and I clicked on that and I subscribed and I confirm the email. Wow, nice, one of the best example. So again, how dashboard designs can impact your perception. So we will also talk some case study on this website to understand the UX, right? So let me talk this one. Couple of weeks ago, so they created story to explain this particular dashboard, right? Couple of weeks ago, I was having the most ordinary night watching TV very uneventfully until I changed channel. Coronavirus update, victims go from no symptoms to death in hours. So availability heuristic. So they explain each and everything in this, right? Like okay, when they did this thing, so they said okay, wow, when we often misjudge the magnitude of the events, blah blah blah. So this type of thing encourage him to design a coronavirus dashboard. So where the maximum people are over there. Have you experienced during this pandemic any dashboard, coronavirus dashboard? No? Okay. So I jumped on my computer. I start searching. The map is scary. Let's see how can I find info on the actual spread. Then I come back. I saw this website in 2020 when the corona happened. So this whole corona dashboard case study regarding that, right? So found a real-time live map. Then time for backup plan. So holy, this is crazy. It feels like the game Plague Inc. Right? They said So this minus 25 is his interest is losing or increasing on that particular stage or on that particular screen, right? So over here, cognitive bias. So cognitive, we tend to favor, we will talk about tomorrow regarding the cognitive bias because that is the third one. We tend to favor and use information that confirms our previously existing belief. So this is what you see. Objectives, what conserve your benefit. So here my thoughts are anchored with the news I just watched. So a quick look at this map confirms my fears while ignoring the facts, which we get to soon. So it looks so bad that my brain cannot process it when they saw it, right? So I did what I do best, closed my computer, went in full Daniel mode, right? Denial mode. So next day I went back to take a deeper look at that map. Wait a minute. The map shown that all of China is infected, but in reality only 81,000 people are. So now over here whole China is infected. There are 1.4 billion people in China, so that's barely 0.005%.
Yes.
So why this is so much red, you know? Also China has 2/3 of worldwide people infected people. So why does it look like there are 3x more people? What are infected worldwide on the map? So again, let's suppose I come again on this particular topic. So you understand confirmation bias, like whatever you want like to show the corona dashboard and you are just scaring the people. You are not even giving the proper data. They are giving the data but not in a visual sense. So this is you get in the difference in between confirmation bias, right? So we will read the case study in detail, right? Very important, confirmation bias. You have to thrive the information, the related information, what user want, either through search or either through menu or either through Google even, right? If you're writing any nonsense on your page which is not related to that particular topic, user will leave simply and it will affect on your confirmation bias. So again I will talk about the cognitive load, right? So cognitive load is the total amount of mental effort that is required to complete a task. You can think of is at the processing power needed by the user to interact with the product. If the information that needs to be processed exceed the user's ability to handle it, the cognitive load is too high. समझ आया?
So
That you have to not bombard with the information in front of a user to perform that particular task. Simple. Give them very easy task and the meaningful task, less options, right? Follow the Hicks law, Fitts law, right, or Miller's law, right? And implement all those laws in your wireframe and UI and make the user journey for that particular task easy to use. Okay? Simple. So means cognitive load means in the load in your brain to memorize that particular thing. The best thing is if your interface is simple, your user will understand it in a very simple way and perform the task and job done. Okay. One of the another website UI Good UI goodui.org. So here I will show you another example of this particular case study which we saying cognitive load, right? So sign up forms, let's talk about this. Like we give a user a sign up form and what type of and how many users fill that particular sign up form, right? So let's suppose we talk about this. Um, this is one of the example, best example. So, in rather than if you let's suppose have 2 to 3 options, right? Rather than giving them in this into the drop down, just open that particular thing so that user can read, and user will know with this particular interface that there are only 3 options. First of all you are reducing the clicks, you are reducing first click, then this, right? Over here user will first read. Always remember that user will first read, then think, and then click. So your UI should around these 3 basic behavior of your user. User first read, then think, or user first see, then think. Think means decision, right? And then click. Simple. Another one, so in this interface you can say that A have a lot of cognitive load and B have less cognitive load. User know that here is what you can do and do this or this. One of the examples.
Can we say the usage of image or usage of any figures less is the cognitive loads on a figure?
Sorry, can you repeat your words? Your question?
By using certain images or any kind of figures to present the information, can it also help reducing the cognitive load on the person?
Depend on the task. Let's suppose let's suppose there are 4 options, we are asking a question like, okay, what you want, right? So in that 4 option, if we are just giving the icons, they cannot recognize it. So 4 icons or the images, you have to explain it in typo, in text, so that they so even if let's suppose if you are putting only image, that is a painting for them, they don't know what to do, so they can make their own perception, right? Same happen with the icons. So let's suppose everybody know this is the home icon, this is the profile icon, right? But let's suppose if I said this is a subscription icon and I just put the icon but didn't explain it that what is this icon about it, user will get confused. If I put the dollar over there regarding for the subscription, user will get confused that what is the meaning of it. So just icons will never improve the cognitive bias, right? But with icon plus text maybe reduce the cognitive bias. I hope you got my answer. Okay, so that's it from my side for today, right? We will talk about again tomorrow about the in this particular book we have the user matrix, success matrix, sorry. User matrix is a very big dimension, but success matrix, right? So that's it from my side, Vani. We will talk again tomorrow.
Yes.
I hope you really
Yeah,
enjoyed,
okay.
right? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you.